Hello everybody, today's going to be my unfiltered opinions on beauty gurus and or large influencers. This is a continuation of my video in which I talked about my unfiltered opinions on celebrity makeup lines, and this entire I guess mini series of videos is inspired by another creator who goes by the name of Porcelain here on YouTube. I'll put her channel on the screen, but she came up with these two video ideas and I figured I might as well do my own version of them because I felt like these were really good ideas, and I always love giving my unsolicited opinions about things. Let's start off on a positive note and talk about Michelle Phan. Michelle Phan is somebody that I very much admire. She is the founder of several businesses, and of course she is a beauty YouTuber. She started out, I think, before almost everybody else on this platform. She had her first makeup tutorial in 2008, I believe, and that video did extremely well because back then they didn't have nearly as many makeup related videos on this platform. So the makeup industry and its correlation with YouTube was in its infancy back then. It was practically non-existent, and she, among several others, was one of the first people to actually spearhead this industry and interconnect beauty with YouTube to create beauty YouTube. She fell off the map a little bit ago, I think it was a few years ago. She fell off the map, she stopped creating videos, and she recently has made a comeback, and I'm so excited. She just has this really interesting and unique way of creating videos. That's always been her way of doing things. I think that she always does her own thing, and in so many ways she's one of the first people to do certain things a certain way, and I mean, I really have such a high level of admiration for her. I love her content, I love her channel, I love her as a person. I would love to meet her one day, and I would love to have a 6-hour long conversation with her. She would drink tea because she loves tea. I would drink coffee because I love coffee, and I need to get caffeinated, and would have a great time. The next person I want to talk about is Geoffrey Star himself. I talked about his brand. Did I talk about his brand? I've talked about his brand many, many times, but today I'm going to talk about Geoffrey Star himself. Icon. I will say this. Icon. Incredibly intelligent businessman. I think that out of pretty much everybody in the YouTube industry as of now, he is one of the best when it comes to taking his money and distributing it amongst so many different businesses. He really seems to have his finger on the pulse, and he seems to know exactly what he's doing when it comes to his businesses, when it comes to his money and all of that, and that is a quality that I admire. What I do not admire would be his character. I just think that yes, it's good that he acknowledged his past, and it's good that he apologized for these things, but at the same time, he's still, in so many ways, manages to be extremely rude to his supporters. He manages to call people really horrible terms, and I could do an entire video about it, and I think I might have already done an entire video about it, but I definitely do not want to do one again because I just don't necessarily want to talk about Geoffrey Star that much, except to say that he is a very good businessman, but do I want to be his friend based on the things that he calls people? No. With that being said, though, let's talk about Laura Lee. Now, Laura Lee, in my mind, I don't watch anything Laura Lee related, and the reason behind that is A, I don't like her content and I can't relate to it, and B, I just don't really like her that much as a person. I will say this. My opinion on Laura Lee has gotten a lot better in recent months. She was very open about how she adopted her niece, I believe, and I love how she's using her very large platform to bring a voice to issues that really need to be talked about, like adoption and the foster system and all of that sort of stuff. I love how she's talking about that. What I don't like is the scandal that she's associated with, and I also don't like how she made that incredibly awful apology video and just cried on camera, and it was just so disgusting. It was so so tone deaf, and she later made an apology video after that, but like it still says a lot that your first reaction is to make an apology video in which you try and force yourself to cry on camera, which is ridiculous. Oh yeah, Desi Perkins. Let's talk about Desi Perkins. I have very positive opinions about Desi Perkins for the most part. Actually, let's talk about Desi and Katie. Yeah, let's talk about Desi and Katie. I'll put Desi's head here, or Katie's head here, and Desi's head here. That's how we're going to do things right now. Desi and Katie, I view them as very similar. I view them as, they're friends, and they've been friends for a very long time. So I really see them as kind of being the same unit. They have like a lot of similar qualities, and I mean, I like both of them. Like, I feel like I would like both of them as individuals if I ever like met them face to face. Desi is the one I watch the most often because her aesthetic is something that I love. I love her style. The only thing I don't like about Desi's style is that she wears a lot of clear shoes. Like, you know, like those clear shoes that for some reason are so trendy right now. I just look at that and I just cringe. I just don't like that kind of style. But yeah, makeup style wise, both Desi and Katie, love that. They're both funny. I like that. They're both like not afraid to just like deglam themselves, you know? Like they look like goddesses on this earth, but like they are not afraid to deglam themselves. They're not afraid to be themselves. They're not afraid to be a little bit whack, and I like that. That for me is a really good quality. I find them very endearing. Do I watch their content though? Not very often. I mean, they just posted a video together, like it was yesterday when I'm filming this, and I did not watch it because I don't think I will enjoy it that much. It's been a while since I watched one of their videos from start to finish. I just don't do it anymore. I love both of their Instagrams, but I don't like their videos. I just don't like it. It's not very fun for me. But then again, I have like a very specific kind of video that I want to watch. That's for another video. But who else can we talk about? Oh, NickyTutorials. Let's talk about NickyTutorials. NickyTutorials. She has an amazing American accent, which is really interesting because I believe that she comes from the Netherlands and English is her second language. But like when I first started watching her, I thought she was American. Her accent was that good. So hats off for that. Hats off for her makeup skills. Not hats off for the fact that she's had so many fishy like just goings on with sponsorships and discount codes. There's like that whole fiasco with like that sponge, remember? That she just reviewed it in a video and she basically showed it to her followers, and somebody clicked the link that she provided and they put in her discount code, and they found out that she had a discount code for a product that she had just reviewed, you know, even though that it was not like it wasn't disclosed that it was sponsored. It wasn't disclosed that she had a discount code at that time. She did reveal her discount code later, but she didn't disclose it at the time. So it just, I mean, that was just a whole very fishy situation. I will. I'll try and put like some people down below who can like explain like all these scandals a little bit better because I'm not a drama channel. I don't do that sort of stuff. I just like watch a few people here and there. But yeah, that was like very fishy. I did not like that. I hate seeing big influencers just, I don't know, pull one over on their fans like that. And it's kind of like you would think that if you have like millions and millions and billions of people watching you, you would think that somebody in your audience would be smart enough or would by accident or even by design do something to like reveal your lie, you know, but like so many of these influencers, they don't actually think that their audience is that intelligent, I guess, and they just don't do it. But like, okay. I don't like her content. I just don't. And she has spent a lot of time, from what I can tell, basically kind of complaining about like how the algorithm is just so like whack sometimes and how her videos haven't done so well. And like actually when she started saying that a lot, that's when I stopped watching because I was like, okay, Nikki, here's the thing. Like now she's changed her content up a little bit, but she tends to basically do a lot of tutorial related content. And right now, tutorials are not necessarily as big as they once were. So maybe, Nikki, it's not the algorithm. It's just the fact that people don't want to watch your tutorials anymore. You know what I mean? And I also don't like when you have people like her complaining about their views, because you have a lot of money. Figure something out. And disclose your sponsorships, please. Also, what else do I want to talk about? Let's talk about James Charles. I'm getting way too excited about that. James Charles. See, the thing is, I kind of hate talking about him because he's what, 20? I'm 20. Like, okay, he's like a few months older than me. I know that. And whenever I hear anything about him, I always feel a very strong sense of FOMO. I feel very inadequate. And that's irritating because he's basically a millionaire and he's my age, and let's face it, he'll never have to worry about money in his life if he manages his money correctly, that is. But I mean, it's kind of like, I think I wish I could have that, but then again, I look at his content and I look at what he seems to be doing, and I think like if I was in that position, that would probably never happen. But if I was in that position, I wouldn't necessarily be like happy with what he seems to be creating. Like, I don't necessarily find his content stimulating. I don't find what he does stimulating either. So I feel like if I was in his shoes, I'd be quite bored because I'm just not interested in his stuff. I used to watch like his videos that he did with celebrities. He just seemed to think of himself as like this big celebrity, and he basically it seemed so obvious that he was trying to put himself on par with these huge celebrities when really they're up here and you, honey, are like here at best. You know, so like you're not that famous. Like, you're rich, good job, but you're not that famous. I also got irritated that he got invited to the Met Ball. James Charles at the Met Ball. As a lover of fashion, that was extremely irritating for me. And yes, that was YouTube inviting him, because like YouTube as a company, they get like a few tickets. They are able to invite certain creators to events like fashion shows or like the Met Ball. So like YouTube as a company decided to invite James Charles as their influencer, but it's kind of like James Charles at the Met Ball. YouTube, what are you doing? Like, in that sense, I think that if you're going to invite somebody to the Met Ball, just like invite, like, I guess Casey Neistat. Casey Neistat. He seems a better candidate for the Met Ball than James Charles, because Casey Neistat actually, like, it, from what I have seen, has a good rapport with a whole bunch of people in the fashion industry, and James Charles stuck out like a sore thumb, and he made 20-year-olds look bad everywhere. Let's talk about Tati. And by the way, there's a very loud fan in this room right now. I have been like waiting for like, the past 10 minutes for it to like, just go off, but like it's not gonna go off, and I have to be somewhere after this. But yeah, that's why the fan is on, basically. I would like to talk about Tati. I will be open with the fact that I've been watching her for a very long time, and I've liked her content for a very long time. For the most part, her recommendations have been ones that I have been happy with as well. I trust her opinion when it comes to makeup. I haven't bought her palette though. Just not like, I'm not into that neutral life. You guys know this, but I just think that Tati is kind of like Michelle Phan in the sense that she basically has the ability to make herself look super mature. She's able to kind of like make, like in a sense, make it look like she's above the drama, but I would like to just say make it look like. Unlike Michelle Phan, I'm comparing them because like they're kind of the same age. Unlike Michelle Phan, Tati likes to act like she's above the drama, but she's not necessarily above the drama. And my problem with her is that she tends to act like she is like homegrown, which in a way she is, but she also tends to act like she's above so many other tropes that are present in the beauty community when she really isn't. I don't like her like way of stirring the pot and then like just backing up and saying, oh yeah, I didn't necessarily do anything here, or like, oh yeah, this is not my issue. You know what I mean? I don't know. I also don't like like I have brought this up in the past, but there's like a influencer that I also watch. Her name is Kiki Chanel. That's not her like actual name, but that's what she goes by. I loved watching her videos for a very long time, and then she did like this review on the Emily Noel palette, and she basically criticized Tati's review of the Emily Noel palette. Tati went after her. She basically sank her teeth in. It's like just sank her teeth in her, and it was really, really sad to see a huge, huge influencer do that to a smaller creator, to do that to a creator that has a small fraction of the following that the larger influencer has. That's the trademark in my mind of a bully. You don't do that if you want to stay away from drama. You don't do that if you want to be mature, if you want to be refined, if you basically have like a good head on your shoulders, you know what I mean? And she never apologized for it. I don't think that she even thinks that she did anything wrong, but you did. You mobilized your army of millions of individuals to go after somebody who really just had an alternative opinion. Yes, she was very sassy about it. That is her channel, that's her brand, which you would know if you actually watched her. You don't have to watch her, but you definitely don't have to criticize her after she does one video criticizing you. You know, like just stop. Like I didn't like that. So like that's why that like my opinion of Tati is kind of like I like her as a creator. I like watching her videos because she has a very relaxing, like she has a very relaxing vibe. I like that. But for those reasons, I'm kind of like. Oh, let's talk about Jaclyn Hill. Let's talk about Jaclyn Hill. Now, Jaclyn Hill reminds me. I just keep getting more and more critical as like this video goes on. Jaclyn Hill reminds me of a overgrown child, and let me tell you what. I'm not saying. Well, I'm not. I was gonna say I'm not saying this as a negative way. Of course, I'm saying this as a negative way. I'm calling a like 20-something-year-old a child, but she is in my mind because she seems to have very good intentions, but she seems to have a very juvenile way of executing them. I think that she thinks she knows what it's like to have little to nothing, to basically be in a very difficult situation, but then at the same time, so many of her actions do match that, but then so many of her actions don't. For instance, she is one of the only creators to do like a 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. It's currently going on right now. She basically does like this thing where like every single day of this giveaway, she gives out this huge, huge amount of prizes in like one package, like every single day, like in the 12 days leading up to Christmas. So she has like very, very expensive bags in those like in those sets. She has makeup. She has like a whole bunch of really like just amazing stuff. And it's kind of like it's an overload of prizes, and she gives them to her followers as a thank you. Like she's done this for several years now, and that for me shows a lot of appreciation because you don't see other people doing that. You really don't. But she does it, and she does it like with intentionality, and she does it to say thank you, and I appreciate that. What I don't appreciate is, for example, the way she handled the whole like Jaclyn Hill cosmetic situation, the way she is very, very ambiguous about her ties with Morphe. At some point she was saying like, I'm gonna stop talking about Morphe for a little bit, but then she went right back on the Morphe train and started talking about Morphe. I mean, I don't know. See, like, I think that she has really good intentions. Oh, the fan stopped. I think that she has really good intentions, and I like the way she like does nice things for her subscribers. But at the same time, I don't like the way she acts to like the world at large, because like let's just face it, your subscribers are also buying all your makeup, and they also experience so many of the issues, but like you didn't like their response, so you swept it under the rug as best you could until you couldn't ignore it anymore. That's really fishy, and I don't like that. I think that that's all I want to talk about today. This is going to be a really long video, so I'm going to have to cut it down like a lot. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope that you enjoyed it, found it interesting, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.